Hi, my name is Alexander Aguila, and my project will be on the nonverbal behavior trends of baseball recruiting. These are things that I would never pay attention to or think about. I don't think anybody will, unless I've taken this class. But the whole point of this recruiting process is about persuasion. Coaches are persuading me that that's the school that I should choose, and I have to persuade them that I'm the player they should want on their team. Persuasion is actually a vocal behavior that plays an important role in influencing people. And through vocalics, rate has a something to do with how you influence people. For example, the faster you speak, the more likely you are to be more convincing and impactful. An increased rate shows more competence and more intelligence. I've noticed how these vocal behaviors alters my perception on these coaches. It makes me feel like they're more intelligent and very competent in their job, so it'll make me want to go to that school and play for them. The way they'll display this vocal behavior, also how formal they speak, is that they'll always ask how you're doing, how your family's doing. As time passes, you build a stronger relationship. They don't really talk like that as much, but they only do so when they're trying to persuade you. Okay, and now once you decide to commit, they invite you to an official visit where everything's paid for, hotel, food, all expenses paid for, and this is a way of them showing you how important you are non-verbally. Recruiting visits are a very future-oriented type of culture. Everybody involved, my family, myself, are given an itinerary from the time we have to wake up to the time that we're able to go to sleep. By being future-oriented, not only is the recruiting process running more smoother, but they're also showing you how valuable they think you are by preserving your time. The next component of the recruiting process I will talk about is territory and environment. So during the process, during the visit, we are taken to formal and familiar places. For example, Daniel Boone is one of the places we're taken to eat, and we're given a designated spot that's insulated from the rest of the restaurant. That we sat at a squared table, which puts the heads, which are the coaches, because they will be paying for our dinner, at the heads of the table, and my family and I will be on the sides. Throughout the visit, we're also having lunch in meeting rooms where we get to meet players, other staff, alumni, and this table setting is different. We're put in round tables, which says that there's no distinction between individuals, and is trying to display a message of we're all a family. And at the very end of the visit, the players are taken to house parties, which is a familiar setting. We know what a party should be like. It's informal. I guess you show another part of how college would be like, compared to the rest of the setting where everybody's formal and there's a social distance in a way to keep everything professional. But now towards the end, we're getting realistic and we're going to a party where the distance is really cut short between the people. People are up against each other, and it gets to show the teammates how you are in a closer setting, and a setting perhaps that will often be happening. Lastly, I will discuss the physical appearance of everybody involved in this recruiting process. The coaches always wear button-down shirts with a tie or a bow tie, dress pants and dress shoes. They always had their hair combed. They always smelled good, and the players were expected to reciprocate the same thing. Not the smell. This specific physical appearance for this event creates social attractiveness which is relates to like business and social events. Coaches and players are able to see like personality traits of everybody involved. At the end of the day, this is one big, unique interview. Coaches and players will be spending the next 4 years together, and the best way to see if that's the right fit is by analyzing all these components, such as physical attractiveness and vocalics, how people talk, and how they smell. Are they on time? Can they follow the itinerary that are given to them at the beginning of the visit? These are all big components that are taken into consideration by both parties, because at the end of the day, the one big thing is being represented, which is a university, and coaches specifically have to make sure that they're choosing the right people. It's so amazing to see how through nonverbal behaviors we're able to gain so much information. For example, how coaches look at its players on how they dress, how they talk, how they smell, to determine if they would like them to represent their program. Same with how players view coaches and see how they talk and how they dress, and see if that's who they want to model for the next 4 years. Now that I've completed this project, after analyzing nonverbal behaviors, they happen all the time, and it's something that we don't even think about because like we only focus on words, but really primarily everything's mostly nonverbal, and if we just realized, we'd see how much it's around our lives.